contract, freedom of association. All of that was to make up for the legacy of slavery and Jim Crow. So unless these benefits are going to, roughly defined, foundational Black Americans, the descendants of American slaves, you've taken away the whole purpose of this. And that is exactly what's happened once we got this huge load of immigrants. Now, a Thai who arrived on Wednesday will get an advantage applying to college, applying to corporations, over a heterosexual white male in particular. That's the biggest hate group. But any white American. And all of the civil rights laws have been, and affirmative action and so on, have been twisted into just anti-white hatred and open, egregious discrimination. So to make the point that Kamala isn't a foundational Black American, I'm always pointing out to Black people, hey, have you noticed Indians are getting all the good diversity jobs? What did we do to Indians? We didn't enslave them. I mean, most of these immigrants coming in, 90% of legal immigrants are from the third world. And mostly we've just run around saving them from earthquakes and tornadoes and coups and starvation. They owe us, we don't owe them. But to switch from the concept of integration and civil rights for Black Americans to this BS-y diversity, it's nothing but discrimination against white people. And that point should be made not just to, as I think Trump is always thinking, oh, he's going to win the Black vote. He's not going to win the Black vote. You ought to do things because they're the right thing to do, not because this is an appeal to Black people, like releasing criminals. He thinks he's going to get the Black vote by being soft on crime. Anyway, not only to point out to Black Americans that their history is being stolen by immigrants, but to remind white Americans that this whole diversity thing is just discrimination against them. You still want to vote for the Democrats?
Now, ladies and gentlemen, normally I disagree with Ann Coulter's, opinion on a lot of political issues. But for the first time, ladies and gentlemen, Ann Coulter was correct. And this is the video that the mainstream media don't want you to see. Ann Coulter was on C-SPAN saying about foundational Black Americans, ADOS, for the first time, she was correct on a lot of stuff. She was. I mean, is she wrong? Let me ask you this. Is she wrong on what she just said? Because now she's talking about Kamala not being a Black woman, and she's talking about the history of foundational Black Americans and racism and the descendants of American slavery. Everything this woman just said was correct and spot on. And she's also talk about freedmen. So, but yet they want to criticize Ann Coulter, talking about she's racist, she's this. Nothing she said was racist at all. Matter of fact, everything she said was historically correct. And so they don't want y'all to see this. This video they don't want you guys to check out. And I was trying to find it everywhere else, but I finally found it on X. I would give a shout out to DracoWick762 on X for this video, because if Ann Coulter sees it, if Ann Coulter understands it, majority of other people understand it too, that this was factual, this is the truth. The truth is the truth. And so, normally, again, Ann Coulter over the years has, a lot of people disagree with what she says and everything else. And I remember Ann Coulter, she used to date Jimmy Walker, who plays JJ of Good Times. That used to be his woman, But if Ann Coulter gets it about that we as foundational Black Americans deserve reparations, who else? I mean, everybody else could understand it too. But they don't want this video to come out. They don't want this to be shown. So kudos to Ann Coulter, because now, oh, as a white woman, she gets it. She gets it. And so again, like if anybody try to say, "Oh, she's a racist," they're not true. Nuh-uh. And she's talking about migrants coming in, try to get programs that Black Americans been deserve those programs. And Coulter was spot on all of this. So y'all let me know what you think about this in the comments.